WNBA fans are bracing for impact because it looks like Caitlin Clark might have gotten injured again, and she has missed nearly half the games this season with a quad injury and then with a groin injury. Here's the play where it happened. She's dribbling down, she pushes off, she makes this pass to Kelsey Mitchell on the back door, and then you can see when she's running back to the other end of the court, she's grabbing her right groin. You could see it on her face right after that play, like something went wrong.
The WNBA's golden ticket was sitting on the bench, broken and unprotected. With her head buried under a towel and tears streaming down her face, Caitlin Clark became the living embodiment of a league at war with itself. This wasn't just another injury, it was the boiling point of a crisis that has been simmering all season long. The league's brightest star, the player single-handedly rewriting viewership records, might now miss the very all-star game designed to celebrate her, all because the people paid to protect her looked the other way. The question is no longer if the officiating is a problem, it's whether the league will fix it before it costs them everything.
Stephanie White, congratulations. Amber Cox, way to go. Kelly Krauskopf, you did it, girl. You really did it. Way to rush Caitlin Clark back from injury time after time after time after time. To the point where she's tearing and crying on the court because she felt something in her groin. You three ladies couldn't manage a kid's lemonade stand.
The moment that may have derailed the entire season came with just 40 seconds left in a hard-fought win against the Connecticut Sun. Clark made a routine pass to Kelsey Mitchell for an assist, but as she turned to run back on defense, a grimace of pure agony flashed across her face. She immediately began grabbing her right groin, limping off the court in visible distress. What should have been a standard play and a victory turned into a gut-wrenching scene. The league's most valuable asset was in tears, not from the emotion of a win, but from the pain of a body that had finally given out under relentless pressure.
This is potentially a disaster for the city of Indianapolis, the Indiana Fever. They're hosting the All-Star game. We just found out Caitlin Clark was going to be in the three-point contest, and this is her right here. You can see her. Let me turn this down. She's grabbing that groin, folks. She's grabbing the groin area. She's going to walk over. She knows she's injured, and it looked bad, folks. She was on the bench, had her head wrapped in a towel. She's crying. She's in pain.
But this was no random accident. It was the predictable outcome of a pattern of neglect that has defined her rookie season. All game long, Connecticut defenders had been allowed to hand-check, grab, and body Clark with impunity. Earlier in that same game, her coach, Stephanie White, had to burn a timeout not to drop a play, but to desperately confront the officials about the unchecked physicality. It was a cry for order, a plea to protect her star player before she was completely dismantled. The timeout came and went, but the message was clear. The refs were not going to step in. Caitlin Clark was on her own.
And whether it was pain or frustration or a combination of both, you could see it weighing on her. Now, she had snapped at a referee earlier. She had held her head down in the midst of her shooting slump. So maybe some of this is just all of that coming to a head, especially knowing that All-Star Weekend is coming up from Indianapolis.
The negligence has become so blatant that broadcast teams are now forced to officiate the game from the booth. During a recent game, ESPN commentators Rebecca Lobo and Ryan Ruocco openly counted the missed calls against Clark in real time. "There's a grab, there's a hold, there's another grab," Lobo said, watching Clark get mauled on a single possession. Every single one of them, a foul. The hypocrisy is staggering. Opponents can shove her to the ground, as Marina Mabre did, and receive a slap on the wrist. Meanwhile, Clark gets technical fouls for showing the slightest hint of frustration after being hit.
From three, so on the road this season, Caitlin Clark is a combined 1 for 32 from three-point range. Very unusual. She's hot. Breon January having to hold her back. We'll take a timeout.
I mean, yo, she went from 0 to 100 real quick. She was upset, dog. I don't know what that ref said. I don't know what happened. But, yeah, she was basically just saying, That has nothing to do with it. So I don't know what they were discussing, but yeah, she was basically pissed about the entire situation, man.
This brutal welcome to the league has transformed Clark from an Iron Woman into an injury-plagued rookie. In college, she was famous for her durability, never once missing a game. Yet in the WNBA, she has already been sidelined by 3 different injuries in just 22 games. First, it was a left quad strain that cost her multiple contests. Then, a left groin injury forced her out again. Now, a right groin injury threatens her availability for the All-Star game. She has been available for just over half of her team's games, a shocking statistic for a player who was once the definition of reliable.
Is the refs, dog. Like, the refs are terrible. Y'all play a part in these injuries. Y'all play a part in all of these injuries. Y'all don't call nothing. Y'all don't call nothing, bro. Like, what are we talking about? You like, all of y'all should be fired. Just don't do your jobs at all. You guys are trash. Trash, man. You got people getting hurt left and right. Look at this trash. We got people getting elbowed in the face. Body check. Look at this. Sophie Cunningham dropped. She just gets body checked out of bounds. No calls. None.
The physical toll is written all over her stat line. A player known for her legendary shooting has seen her 3-point percentage plummet to just 28.9%. This isn't a rookie slump, it's the mathematical proof of a player under siege. It's impossible to find your rhythm when you're playing through constant pain, with limited mobility, and bracing for impact on every single play. The league isn't just letting defenders stop her, they're letting them break her.
Somebody who's never gotten injured ever in their career. Here comes all these, oh, we got a new coaching staff, we got a new training staff, we got this person and that person, an expert here and an expert there, saying this, saying that. Next thing you know, these people have managed to turn Caitlin Clark into a player who now gets injured. What the hell did you guys do with Caitlin Clark?
The situation has become so dire that her family can no longer stay silent. After the latest injury, her brother, Colin Clark, took to social media with a blunt and damning message. Make no mistake, this is on the reffing. His words captured the helpless frustration of a family watching their daughter and sister get targeted night after night, while officials turn a blind eye to the kind of abuse that ends careers. It's no longer just a debate among fans. It's a family's public cry for help.
That are turning into another injury, and it's an overcompensation injury, and she's trying to play through it because she's got the weight of WNBA on her shoulders. All of this stuff. I think all of these things are factors. I think all of this is a factor for what's happening. I think all of this is a factor of why she's playing. I think she's trying to carry this league on her shoulders. And the refs are letting them beat the crap out of her. That doesn't help things. It doesn't help things when the referees are absolutely letting teams beat the crap out of her. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Other teams are allowing other teams are beating the crap out of her, and the referees are allowing it.
This isn't just a moral failure, it's a financially catastrophic one. When Caitlin Clark doesn't play, WNBA viewership plummets by a staggering 55%, falling from an average of 1.8 million viewers to just 847,000. Her return from a previous injury drew 2.2 million viewers, one of the most watched games in league history. The WNBA is experiencing a cultural and financial renaissance entirely on her back, yet they are systematically destroying their most valuable asset.
Caitlin Clark's brother, Colin. Colin just said this. Make no mistake, this is on the refereeing. This is Colin Clark, Caitlin Clark's brother. This is Caitlin Clark's brother right here, Colin Clark.
What's up with ESPN? Like, do they have trolls for their producers? Like, they always kept throwing shade at Caitlin Clark, throwing up, oh, how many, like, yo, this girl's coming off an injury. She's coming off an injury. Like, there's no point of keep showing the graphic. Oh, the last time she made a 3, it was so unnecessary. To me, it's kind of like bullying at this point. They're a joke, bro, because they don't do that with Angel Reese when her shots are not falling. Like, she's below 40%. Do they ever show that? No, they don't do that. They don't do that with any other player, but they do it with Caitlin Clark. I hate that, man. Pam Ward, she's an old hag.
Now, that negligence is about to have its most public consequence yet. The 2024 All-Star Game in Indianapolis was meticulously planned around Clark. Tickets sold out in 7 hours. The three-point contest was set to be her showcase. She was named a team captain after receiving the most fan votes in WNBA history. It was meant to be her coronation. But with her availability in serious doubt, the league faces a public relations nightmare. Without its headliner, the WNBA's biggest event of the year becomes just another exhibition game.
Our biggest concern is obviously her health. And I got to tell you, I can't see her playing tomorrow. I cannot imagine her doing the three-point contest or being in the All-Star game now. All right, which is brutal. I was so fired up to see it. But she needs to sit, folks. She needs to sit. This is the power of Caitlin Clark right here. This is the crowd prior to the game. These are all Fever fans going into a road arena in Boston. Look at that.
The things that we were looking forward to this weekend in the W has just gotten jeopardized because of this Caitlin Clark groin injury. And I can honestly say this. I don't believe that the Indiana Fever are doing a hell of a job at protecting their greatest asset, because if it were me doing this and I was in charge of this team, I would take the Jerry Krause approach that he took with Michael Jordan after he broke his leg. Now, granted, Caitlin Clark's injuries have not been as severe as Michael Jordan's were back in the 80s, but hear me out on this. The minute that Michael Jordan got hurt, Jerry Krause held his ass out as long as he could. It wasn't because of any draft pick. It's because you're trying to protect your greatest asset, because you know without that great asset, you're going to lose your job and the team doesn't have a chance to win.
The situation draws a stunning and unflattering comparison to another basketball legend. When Michael Jordan broke his leg early in his career, the Chicago Bulls organization, led by Jerry Krause, fiercely protected him. They limited his minutes and held him out for as long as possible, understanding that the long-term health of their generational asset was more important than any single game. The WNBA, by contrast, appears to be allowing Clark to be fed to the wolves, risking her entire future for the immediate sugar rush of ticket sales and ratings.
You get injured, you know in your mind how bad it is. You know, because throughout the game, she probably felt a little tingle throughout the game, and she was trying to manage it. She was trying, to avoid it. And then it happened. And then the little tweak happened. It's like, fuck, I did it. Like, I couldn't avoid it. Reminds me of the Halliburton injury. See that shit just make you want to fucking just break down. So how about we do this? How about we do not participate in putting pressure on this kid to come back? I mean, is that so much to ask?
Even Clark's fiercest competitors on the court can see the injustice. Paige Buchers, who is set to face Clark in the All-Star game, didn't hold back. The pressure that she's put on every single night to perform, it's inhumane, Buchers said, criticizing the impossible expectations and the brutal physicality Clark endures. When your rivals are publicly defending you, it's a sign that the problem has escalated from aggressive competition to a fundamental breakdown of professional standards.
I ain't one to, say a lot of stuff about overseas and stuff like that, but I don't know, man. It's looking like Caitlin Clark might have to go overseas, bro, at this point. Because this damn league is looking spooky. It's looking real spooky.
The WNBA is at a crossroads, facing a choice between short-term greed and long-term survival. They can continue to allow negligent officiating to dominate their games, watching as their biggest stars worn down, injury by injury. Or they can take decisive action to protect the player who has given them more visibility and relevance than they've had in decades. The league that built its future on Caitlin Clark's shoulders is now watching her crumble under the weight. The question is, will they finally step in to help her carry it, or will they simply watch her fall?